All right, everyone, I've been doing my own drum roll. It's corny, but it gets everybody waking up. It gets everybody excited because LaunchBreak, the podcast, is here. I'm your host, Zora Stephenson. I say I'm a has-been hooper. Can I still pass a conditioning test? Heck no. But are the experiences, the lessons, the relationships still there? Yes, they are. They're there for a lifetime. They stay with us forever. And that is what this series is all about. Hearing from some highly, highly successful women who have athletic backgrounds, just like you, just like me, and we want you to listen, learn, and leave empowered and take away a gem or two, because that's what everyone is here for. If you are new to the show, LaunchBreak is a global professional network for women athletes connecting current and former college, pro, national, Olympic, and Paralympic competitors. If you like what you hear and you want more from our amazing guests, go follow us at The LaunchBreak on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
I used to get frustrated trying to find women's sports coverage. And then I found 5 Wins. 5 Wins offers truly original content and real community. Real stories from athletes, smart takes on the games, bracket challenges, and even live events with other fans. Whether you're watching from the couch, in the stands, or still playing yourself, 5 Wins is where women's sports community hangs out. Check it out at 5wins.com. That's the number 5wins.com.
All right, so I teased there that LaunchBreak has pro, national, Olympic, and Paralympic competitors. Emphasis on Olympic today because our guest, Nicole Havlin, is a 3-time Olympian. And I'm hyping it up because I don't want that to ever be normal or taken for granted, how hard and how impressive it is. Nicole is a member of USA Rugby, and she is a force both in the wild and outdoors of Montana and the discipline of West Point. That sentence right there, I feel 2 different ends of the spectrum, but you know, it's an and world, right? We can do all the things. We can be all the things. Nicole brings resilience, leadership, and intention to everything that she does. Her journey blends elite performance with mindfulness, balancing the intensity of Olympic competition with also yoga and coffee and connection and a deep respect for nature. And now she's setting her sights on what's next. I can't wait to dive into that, what the next big dream is. But from rugby to service work to wellness, Nicole, first and foremost, thank you so much. What has been a constant in your journey?
First of all, thank you for the introduction. That was amazing. Make me feel really special. So thank you. When I started this journey of being on the professional women's rugby team, it was like, okay, how can I get better each day? I'm not going to focus on other people because that's out of my control. I'm going to focus on myself, and I'm going to make myself better each day.
I love that. I want to get to what's next for you, but before we get there, we kind of have to start at the beginning. And rugby. I don't know if you've ever heard the term. There's a movie called Brown Sugar, and part of it is like, when did you fall in love with hip hop? Your question is, when did you fall in love with rugby?
So growing up in Montana, my dad never treated me like a girl. So I had a twin brother and an older brother. So I was along for the ride for wrestling practice, football practice, hunting, fishing, anything outdoors, but all the sports, and there was never any girl jobs or around the house. I was just one of the guys, and so I grew up wrestling and I played tackle football. And one day in 9th grade, my dad was like, "You're gonna play rugby," and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "'Cause you're gonna be good at it." And I remember my first ever rugby practice. It was in Hamilton, Montana. There was snow on the ground. It was freezing, and I first touch of the ball, scored. Second touch of the ball, scored. And I was like, okay, I kind of like this. This is fun. Got woman of the match. And I think that was the moment where I fell in love, because I realized, okay, I could be really good at this. There's not a lot of females who are willing to be tackled or tackle people. So I think my background of all those sports growing up really helped and elevated my journey.
how did you then find like-minded people once you started participating in rugby? And did that aid in helping you feel seen, or did you always feel seen as someone who grew up with two brothers and a dad who said you're going to do everything your siblings do? Or how did rugby aid in you finding Nicole and being comfortable in Nicole?
Yeah, that's a question that came up for me when I was at West Point. So my true love was basketball. I was set on going Division I basketball. Someone along my journey said, "You're too short. You're not going to be able to make Division I." And I was like, "Whoa, watch me." So that was one of my motivations, and I got there. I trained day in, day out. I'm pretty short for a basketball player. Played point guard at West Point for only a semester. Before I was like, I'm just not really liking this. This is not my scene. I don't really vibe with the girls. I'm not playing a lot of minutes like I wanted to. And so I remember calling the head coach for the West Point women's rugby team, Bill Leclerc, and I was crying. I said, I can't do this anymore. And he's like, we've always had a spot for you. So I come out to practice the next day and instantly just felt so comfortable and invited amongst the girls. Like I was like, these are my people. We're a little weird. We have loose screws, but these are my people. And it was then that I felt like I was along for that culture, that team. In a sense, yeah.
There's two things that stood out to me. First is like sports is the greatest connector ever. In terms of being okay with who you are, finding who you are, and then finding your people. It's so funny. I had a family member the other day, and we have friends come by the house and like, so are all your friends connected to basketball? And we're not all currently playing, but it's just that like, there's nothing like a team, and there's nothing like finding people that, and you don't even necessarily have to be like-minded, but that get you. Right? And
yes,
you.
yeah.
And then the
100%.
other part of it, I think, which is such a valuable lesson, is you getting to West Point and you had this goal your whole childhood, like, I want to play D1 basketball. But you got there and it didn't feel right. How was it making that decision of, hey, it's okay that my dreams and goals and what I want to do has changed?
Yeah, it was a tough decision. I mean, so one thing that basketball taught me was my work ethic. So since I was shorter, I wasn't, your typical basketball player. I was in the gym every single day making 100 shots. I got so good at the shooting guard that I made 97 shots in a row, without missing a single shot. And that's because I did it every single day.
Wait. 90? Are we talking jumpers? These aren't layups.
Yeah, jumpers.
Okay.
So you know the shooting guard that just it spits out a ball, you shoot it, and it spits out the next ball, and it just goes around the court.
Yeah.
So I was hanging around, like, not the three-pointer, but like around the free throw line, just in that dimension, like circumference or whatever.
Yeah, like elbows.
Yeah. I got so good at it, and I just remember like having my ear pods in that like hung down to my phone, tucked it in my sports bra, and just went in. Like I knew the janitor like for my high school because he would let me in like before class, like 5 a.m, because that's the only time I could do it. So I think like I will always be grateful for like my dream of becoming a Division I basketball player because that taught me a lot of work ethic, and that's basically what I took on into my rugby career. It's staying after practice, kicking when everyone's going home, and just getting reps and being the best version of yourself each day. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the Division I career not working for basketball, it was like, all right, what's the next thing? That's just always been my mentality. Like, what's the next thing that I can do?
I love it. And it feels like you're at that point in your life right now. But before we get to the next thing, I just need a funny Olympic story. Like, I'm a 3-time Olympian with the women's national rugby team. Like, give me your best Olympic story from any 3 of the games.
All right, so I got 3 to pull from. I feel like Tokyo. So my best friend is Ilona Mar, and we're always roommates. And there's there's a video out there, and this is the time when she started blowing up. Mm-hmm. There's a video we made with all of our teammates. It's the cardboard beds. We were testing out the cardboard beds, so we're doing everything on this cardboard bed, like from like A skips to one person's pretending to have birth and giving birth to one of my teammates. What else was there? There's like.
And who came up with this idea to do this video?
It was low. It was low.
Okay.
She's the brains behind all the videos, but we had like the worm, and she's wearing that bucket hat that she like was known for during the Tokyo Olympics, and we just were cracking up so much, and it was so fun, like just connecting as a team, and we had everyone do something. And we're gonna have to pull up the video, but and at the very end, it was like me and Lo hanging out, and she cuts it really short. She's like, and me and Nicole are gonna.
And for this last take, Nicole and I will be having sex.
And then cuts it. We're just like laughing. It's just the things like that. Like, do I remember playing China? Do I remember playing Spain? Like, I think it was Spain. I don't even know.
You don't remember the team?
I don't
Yeah.
remember playing any of those teams, but
Yeah.
I do remember like the times we had, and that video is a memory of mine.
Yeah, no, thank you for reflecting on that. And yeah, it's a great lesson. And the premise of this whole thing, right? Like, you're not going to remember, whatever you didn't succeed at on the field, on the court, the teams you played, but you remember those moments with your best friends. There's nothing like it. What's next for you now? Like, what's the next dream?
Well, right now I'm actually at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs rehabbing my recent Achilles surgery that I had a month ago. Long story short, I broke my leg 6 months out of the Paris Olympics, and we went for it. Like, we rehabbed so fast that when I broke my left leg, it was my right Achilles that took a beating. So now I'm dealing with a bit of like right Achilles stuff. So that's my time here is getting healthy. But in the meantime, I'm not done competing.
Okay.
So in terms of rugby, my rugby career on the Olympic team might be over. Just because that coach, the current coach, just wants to invest in other players, in which I totally understand. But while I'm here at the Olympic Training Center around a lot of teams and athletes, it's kind of like a recruitment. Like I got like boxing coming up to me, I got wrestling coming up to me, like talk to flag football, talk to handball. So Nicole's not done, but she also wants to figure out what career she wants after sport, and that's most likely going to be in the fire service.
Okay, because you're already like a certified EMT, correct?
Yes, I'm an EMT. I got that about 2.5 years ago. Obviously, I have my CPR, and I want to become a paramedic. But yes, fire service is very high on my interest level, because it's like going from one team to another, where you're at the firehouse, you're training together, you eat together, you're running calls together, and it just sounds like a great environment. I'm really excited for that career.
When you're rooted in service too, going back to your time at West Point, I love everything that you said. The last part that I want to dive into is your love of nature. How do you feed that part of you? And I love to, like, this is the perfect example of all the layers of a human being. We've gone from Montana and growing up with your boys and your brothers, and then hoops, and then rugby, and then testing all the things that like a cardboard mattress can do. You have service work, EMT, and now like you also love being outside. Where does that come in?
That for me is just, that makes me think of like home. And I grew up, fly fishing on every water there is in Montana, and I have the personality of go. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta clean the house, I gotta do this workout, I gotta talk to this person, do this meeting. And fly fishing for me and being outdoors is the only place I feel completely removed from any like to-do list. And I'm like, usually you don't have any service, you're just with the people you love, and you're listening to music, and you're having fun, you're catching fish. And it's my favorite hobby, because I feel so at peace.
Yeah, but I bet you're still a little competitive with that too.
100%. Like, did I catch the biggest fish of the day? Yes. Did I catch the most amount of fish, maybe.
Going back to, before I get in my last question, going back to you being in Colorado Springs right now at the Olympic training facilities, you talked about all the summer sports that are recruiting you. The winter games are weeks away. Is anyone there saying, is there a sport there that piques your interest?
Okay, so I was watching speed skating the other day. They had their Olympic trials, and I was like, how hard could it be? Or like, I've met some of the figure skaters. They're actually they're at their trials right now, so they're not here right here. But that one would be a little tough for me. I'm not like a feather on ice. Most of the winter are gonna be at Lake Placid, so I've only met the figure skaters, I believe.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna be watching, tuning in, and being like, all right, what's
what's next? What can I get into? We appreciate your time. We end the show with a question. I have a saying that is near and dear to me. I've got it tattooed right here, and it says, "Keep it going." And so I'm wondering what keeps you going, especially right now, as maybe you're not able to do everything physically that you normally can. What's keeping you going?
I just love. I mean, it's the same mentality. It's like, Nicole, let's get better each day. Like, if it's, you can't, run, right? I haven't ran since July 15th. But like, how can I get better? I can get stronger in my upper body. I can go back to school. One of the things I'm really interested is actually getting my education, because I did leave West Point for the 2016 Olympics and I haven't finished my education. So it's like hopping on the computer more and doing more of that work, and still speaking to my sports psych and making sure that's all checked. So there's just so much to do in life, and then also it's like enjoying a little bit more of like family time, like with rugby and being involved in 3 Olympics, you miss a lot of family time. So I got to spend a summer with my brothers and a lot of my with my parents, so that was really fruitful. So
they're still giving you a hard time, your brother?
Oh yeah.
That ever. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole, we appreciate you. I just loved all the layers of your story. That's what stuck out to me, and that as humans, we don't have to just be a rugby player. We don't have to just be a hooper. We can do many things, and they can be in different seasons of our life. So I appreciate your insight on that. If you want more from Nicole, and if you don't already follow her, you can follow her at Nicole406 Heavirland on IG. And just a reminder, LaunchBreak is a community that supports women athletes in their next chapters. So if you want to get in touch with us, go to launchbreak.com. We appreciate the listen. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again, Nicole.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye. Did you know that your hair care could actually be contributing to skin issues? That's exactly why Harvard-trained dermatologist Dr. Arise Rubin created Scene. Scene hair care is formulated specifically for sensitive, acne-prone, and eczema-prone skin without sacrificing performance. These are salon-quality shampoos, conditioners, and styling products that work for all hair types and textures, from fragrance-free formulas approved by the National Eczema Foundation to gentle scented options. Scene has truly become a go-to hair care brand. You can find Scene at Ulta Beauty or use promo code LaunchBreak20 to receive 20% off your order today at helloscene.com.